You need the word momentum. You will gain that momentum.
In life, there are moments that whisper, stop, take a break, slow down. Moments that push you to question if the climb is worth the fall, if the battle is worth the scars. But champions, they know a secret, a power that defies resistance, that conquers doubt.
You need that momentum to break free. When a rocket is flying out towards the moon to escape the atmosphere, it doesn't fucking pause halfway up the sky, does it? No, it keeps going.
44 degrees and it's nice and rainy outside. It's not about the rain. It's what the rain represents. Life is always giving you a test. Trying to give you a way out. Trying to give you an excuse not to show up. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. This is my excuse today, but guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life.
Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
No matter what life throws at you, it's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for fucking battle.
The word momentum. I'll tell you a story that's very interesting for me. When I was young, there was a man, and he was a very successful man, became unbelievable. He was a home builder, became an unbelievable success, got more and more successful. And he'd build homes, and at night he'd go to these major sites with teams of people, and he'd scour the sites, and he did it properly. And he did this for 20 years, and then he was offered a lot of money for his company. And he sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. At the time especially, this is a long time ago, sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. So he had a very, very interesting life. And the company that bought his company was a big conglomerate. And they didn't know anything about building homes, and they didn't know anything about picking up the nails and the sawdust and selling it and the scraps of wood. And after about a 10-year period, they were losing a lot with it. It didn't mean anything to them, and they couldn't sell it. So they called William Levitt up, and they said, would you like to buy back your company? And he said, yes, I would. He so badly wanted. He got bored with this life of yachts and sailing and all of the things he did in the south of France and other places. He bought back his company, and he bought back a lot of empty land. And he worked hard on getting it zoning, and he worked hard on starting to develop. And in the end, he failed, and he failed badly. Lost all of his money. He went personally bankrupt, and he was now much older. And I saw him at a cocktail party, and I see sitting in the corner was a little old man who was all by himself. Nobody was talking to him. I immediately recognized that that man was the once great William Levitt of Levittown. And I immediately went over. I wanted to talk to him more than the Hollywood show business communications people. So I went over and talked to him. And I said, Mr. Levitt, I'm Donald Trump. He said, I know. Said, Mr. Levitt, how are you doing? He goes, not well at all. And I knew that, but he said, not well at all. And he explained what was happening and how bad it's been and how hard it's been. And I said, what exactly happened? Why did this happen to you? You're one of the greats ever in our industry. Why did this happen to you? And he said, Donald, I lost my momentum. I lost my momentum. A word you never hear when you're talking about success. When some of these guys that never made 10 cents, they're on television giving you things about how you're going to be successful. And the only thing they ever did was a book and a tape. But I'll tell you, it was very sad, and I never forgot that moment, and I thought about it. And it's exactly true. He lost his momentum, meaning he took this period of time off, long years, and then when he got back, he didn't have that same momentum.
Most of you are happy to be losers part-time. You want to escape. That's why you joined. You don't want to be a loser anymore. But then that new video game comes out. I'll just play the video game. I'll just be a loser for 2 more weeks. Then I'll get back to trying to escape the Matrix. It doesn't work that way. because you jump in and out of complacency from I'm happy to be a loser and do loser things to I can't be a loser anymore. And when you jump in and out, you never get momentum. You cannot quit. You cannot give up. You need that momentum to break free. When a rocket is flying out towards the moon to escape the atmosphere, it doesn't fucking pause halfway up the sky, does it? No, it keeps going. You're in competition with the entire world. Everyone wants to escape. You cannot be lazy. You are the only person who can make this work, and you're also the only person who can fuck this up.
You got that day, you woke up, you put your shoes on, you went for a run, you worked out in your driveway, you got a good day in.
Yep.
That's sometimes all you need to do and decide, this is what I do from now on. I have good days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be another good day, and then I'm going to force myself into another good day. And the next thing you know, I've got some momentum.
Right.
You got some momentum, you could change everything.
Yep.
Many times in my life, I've felt like I could slip the wrong way, and I see it. I see the dark hole, and I go, fuck that, and just go the other way. A voice in your head that wants you to do nothing. This voice in your head that you have to decide that you are a professional. This is what a professional does. A professional goes to work and they give in to the muse. Okay, the concept of the muse, whether or not it's real, but the concept of the muse is you settle in and receive creativity almost like as a divine gift from this magical entity, the muse. Now, whether or not it's real is not important. What's important is if you treat it as if it's real, it does work. And what works is if you dedicate your time and your focus, like realistically, with a professional, disciplined effort to creativity. You show up every day like a professional, but you show up to be creative. If you just do it on a regular basis, ideas will come to you. Where are these ideas coming from? Well, and this is what you do. You show up and you do the work, you focus on it, and these ideas will come to you. Treat it like it's magic, but treat it like you're a professional and you show up to engage with the magic. So every day, at the same time, you sit down in front of your keyboard and you start working, and just put in the work, and force yourself to do it. You force it like a muscle, like the same muscle that you develop when you go running every day, and then you get to the point where like 7 days in, you start fucking feeling good running.
Right. So you start to feel like you're good at it.
You start feeling like you're getting better.
Yeah.
Practice makes what? Absolutely not. Dismantle that belief system. Practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better. And there's still some things that will happen to you that will catch you on the blind side that you did not anticipate. You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. You'll be able to get to your feet again. Be on the ropes.
Like I want to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, come on, man, we're going running. Like I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man, get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day, get up. Keep going. How long can you maintain a positive attitude? Where's all this teaching? You're teaching people, you can't do shit yourself.
Understanding and knowing that we can move from where we are, that we can begin to design the kind of life that empowers us, that gives us happiness, that enable us to be on top of who we are. Knowing that as we begin to explore new horizons and new vistas in life, that as we begin to focus on developing ourselves, as we begin to elevate ourselves and not to follow the crowd, activating the thinker in us and disciplining and putting on hold the emotional part of ourselves.